Hi there, Melanie from jarofthreads.com. I'm back with another Project Life process video, and this one is for week 4 of 2015. And today I've decided to show you how I go about choosing pictures and cards and where they go. I had quite a lot of pictures for this week, so I decided to do a double page spread. And I'm going to cheat a little bit because I only had like these 2 pictures of my boy with his dad, my husband. Um, and so I'm going to take a picture from next week, but we won't tell anyone. Will. I've got plenty of pictures of him for the week after that, so it doesn't really matter, and it fitted in the story anyway. In the story I wanted to tell with this page. And for the colors, I've chosen my cards beforehand, and for the colors I wanted to go with this kind of light yellowish green, chartreuse green, I guess. And here I'm showing you how it's going to look, or maybe we'll see what changes. And the pattern paper are all from Heidi Swapp Favorite Things, and the cards were all from Studio Calico, most of them from the April kit. And I'm starting with my title card for week 4. I'm using some foam stickers in green. I can't remember what they're called. And I'm writing the date for the week, and I will come back to it later. And now I decided to use my paper trimmer instead of my scissors because I'm really rubbish with scissors. And I'm going to glue all my pictures and for the layout, and I will come back for embellishment later. I like to do my gluing first, trimming and gluing first, and then having a better look at what it's going to look like and decide on the embellishment later. Here I'm using the pattern paper to line up my picture. And for this one I wanted to go in one of those 3x4 slots, and I'm actually going to cut it down to 2.5 by 2.5 so I can put it on a card. And I'm going to glue it wrong on the card as well, if I remember well. But first I don't want to put it directly on the card. I want to do a frame around it, a border. And I thought I was going to go with this houndstooth, but I decided to go with this lime green instead of chartreuse green, because it fitted better with the rest of the card. I considered a darker green, but it wasn't working with the picture. So here you can see that's fine. That's how the picture should go. And then I'm going to glue it down. And here you can see me thinking. Yeah, I'm going to round the corner because I fancied rounding the corner on this one. And you're going to see me glue it on the side. Yep. So we'll have to go back later and pull it off. And that's a picture of my favorite dressing for my salads. And I thought that would be fun to put that in the Project Life, and later I will write down the recipe. And because I'm using 4x6 pictures, quite a few of them this week, there's not as much cutting down and cards and stuff to work on. I'm going to trim this one because I don't want that much of a black heavy top, and then glue it like that on a card. And which cards have rounded corner and which oven doesn't really matter to me. I'm not fussed about mixing both style. I quite like it actually. And when it's frames, when you can just do that. And here I realized that my 2 frame pictures were on the same side, and then that bothered me. Oh yeah, and I forgot that I had this picture, so that I had to make a card for it and remove the Studio Calico card I was going to use, and use and make a new card to fit, because I really wanted to put this teeny picture of my son at the table, because that's the week we bought his chair to sit with us. So that was quite important. This layout took me about an hour and a half, maybe a little bit more, with trying to find some stuff. Here I'm showing you all the embellishments I've gathered. And you see this chipboard thing that I've just shown you? Yep, I don't know where it's gone. When I went to do my embellishment, I couldn't find it. I don't know where it's gone. I'll have to find it. And some stickers from Kikki K that I've had forever and that I bought on special last year, so they're long gone. And I'm back to my first page, and I'm going to do my first round of embellishment. So for this one, I'm going to use one of these. For my embellishment, I decided to go with orange highlights. That's why I'm choosing an orange sticker. And I'll have to go back, because I've just realized that I've written 4 months and 3 weeks on this sticker. And actually, Leon was 5 months that week. So I need to go back and correct that. It's no big deal. And I was playing with this acetate square, and I'm not going to use it. I find it very difficult to use acetate stuff. I'm going to use some on this layout, you'll see later on, but not this one. And I'm going to fuss around with those Hello Studio, what is it called, wood veneers. I can't say it this morning. I've had them forever and I've never used them. I'm not a huge fan of wood veneers, or I wasn't until now, but I really liked how they look on this layout. I think they work very well with the green and the orange. I'm really pleased with how this layout turned out. And those are Heidi Swapp enamel shapes from the Favorite Thing collection as well. And here I'm going to make a little journaling spot with one of those stickers that says cuddly. That's a picture of my son sleeping in my arms. And I've got to fuss because it's not straight, and I don't like things that are not straight. I don't like things that are crooked. And I'm doing a little bit of journaling on camera, but I'm going to do a big chunk of it off camera as well, because it's not that interesting. So for this one, I'm going to show you. It's very handy when the pattern paper's got straight line, because you can line up things. And I'm going to use this You and Me wood veneer. And I'm just saying that my son loves sleeping in my arms. When he's not sleeping in his buggy, he's sleeping in my arms for his naps. And that's fine. It's 5 months. Hey, you're only baby once. Might as well enjoy it. And I'm considering what kind of embellishments I want to use. And here are all the cards. That's the day after. So here's a bit of journaling I've done on the side that you've just seen. And I'm going to use some acetate flowers from, I think it was the April kit as well. And yeah, I'm going to put some of those stickers to make flower centers. And I'm going to use this glue, and then I've done a big blob of glue. But that's okay, it dries clear, so it doesn't really matter. And I'm going to put one of those stickers, and that's multi-medium matte. And that's a picture of the Buskers Festival and the Kite Day, where we live, because we live on the beach. And every year in all cities is the Buskers Festival, and they come out to the beach one day. It's always the same guys though. and I'm looking to see if there's anything that fits. I will come back later to add more to this card because I find it a bit plain. I really like this picture because I really like the it looks like the penguin is giving the stink eye to my son, and I really like that. So I'm going to add that for a banner and that at the bottom. And I used a stamp from Studio Calico with the what is called the movie clappy thing. I'm not quite sure what it's called, and a few stars. And that's another one I made with 1-inch punch, circle punch, and another of these stamps from Studio Calico. And I'm trying to focus on my pencil, but it's not working. It's a Polychromos by Faber-Castell in one of the medium orange. And I'm going to color around the cutlery and the plate so that it's lifting off the card I'm going to put it on. And I'm sorry the table is a bit shaky. I usually do my project live when my son is not around, my baby boy is not around, but some days he is here, and I put him at the table, at the same table I'm crafting, so he can have a snack and not cry too much. And here you can see I've turned the picture around, and yeah, I decided to put an arrow to point to the grumpy penguin. And a little bit a label to just add a few words about Leon watching his brother playing. And that's another bit of journaling I've done off camera with a little bit of washi. I really like putting a bit of washi on my cards and pictures. It's not a lot of decorating, but it works very well, I find, with pictures. And I'm going to use this, I think it's from Amy Tangerine, Stitch die cuts, and Life is Better with a Smile, which works very well with this picture because that's a picture of my husband and son going on dad and boy adventures and always sending me a silly picture. When they're out and about, and that's another one of those. And this round die cut was perfect because it says on an adventure, and that's what my son calls any days he spent with his dads, just the two of them. They're adventures, Mama, adventures. And I'm going to make a little label for this card. I didn't have any journaling to go with this card. I'm just writing Mr. Snugglepants, because that's how we call him when he's snuggled in his blankets. And more washi. And glue down, and I think I'm going to add some staples. And this one didn't go properly, so I've got to remove it and reattached. And this one worked just fine. And I wanted to add some hearts, but I've already added some hearts to one of his pictures, so I wanted something a bit different. It's still going to be hearts, but they're going to be wood veneers hearts. And I'm going to add a few of them because I've got a few of them, and I just want to use them. I know some people really like wood veneers, and I'm not quite sure I like them yet, if you see what I mean. I think they look fine. I really like them on this layout, but I'm not sure they're quite fitting in my style, if I've got a style at all, if you see what I mean. Anyway, I guess it's the case of using them more, which is what I've done here. So a little bit of break. That's usually when I go check on the boy playing on the floor. And that's one of Studio Calico's banner thing that we got in the February kit. I think this one was, and the color was perfect. and stars and starburst. And that's when I'm looking for my chipboards that you saw at the beginning of this video, and I can't find them, and I wanted to put the best on this card and I can't find it. If I find it someday, I will go back and put it there because it was perfect for this card and it was where I wanted to use it. So here I'm showing you all the cards that I've finished, more or less. I will go back and add something more in a few seconds. And here it goes. And at this point, I really like this card, but it's still very plain, and I wanted to add something, so I thought about adding the wood veneers, and I thought about stamping, so I'm checking my stamps. But there's nothing that jumps at me. There's nothing that works. So I'm thinking, and then still looking through stuff, still searching for those chipboards and stuff, wood veneers. Nope. So I leave it to the side. I really like this wood veneers and I want to use it, but it doesn't fit on this card. And that's when I've got the best idea ever. It's nothing groundbreaking, but it worked for this layout, and you see that in a few seconds. So I'm going to use this moment's wood veneers on this page, and that's when I've got this idea. So I'm putting this love here. No reason other than this card is plain, then I've got no pictures, and I need to add something. And I'm doing a few snips on the sides because I've gone and got some thread. So I'm going to wrap this thread a few times around. And I really like how it looks on this one. It's very simple, but it's making use of this blank spot at the bottom that I wasn't quite sure what to do with. And another one of those plain card. I really like this watercolor effect. I do quite a lot of watercolors, so that's quite fitting on this on any layout of mine to have some watercolors. And so I'm making some bunting with my washi, and I'm struggling with the middle one because it doesn't want to line up. And I'm going to trim each little pennants in the shapes I want, and I'm going to glue them down so that they lie properly the way I want them to be. Trim the threads. So I really like this look, and I've grabbed my pocket tool, and that's weird because that part of the video should be before what we've just seen, but never mind. So I'm showing you what kind of cotton it is. It's pearl cotton in size 12 that I bought years ago and that only got to use for this layout. I did have a project for it, but I never got around to using it. So I'm making a little bit of stitching at the top of this card, and then I decided to add more stitching, and I really enjoyed that. That's why this layout took so long, because stitching does take a little bit of time, and I'm using washi to hold my thread because I don't want any knots. And I'm doing a bit of cross stitching, and I managed to do most of it on camera, which is pretty good. And going back, maybe I should have skipped that. Tell me if you're bored. This video is going to be 25 minutes long, so it's going to take a while to upload, but that's okay. Let me know if you enjoy longer videos. I'm thinking of sticking to double spread page from now on, even if this fits 2 different weeks. So let me know what you think. And I would like to thank you all the people who subscribed so far to my channel. It makes me very happy that people are interested in my videos. There's no words to thank you and tell you how much I appreciate it. And here I'm making a little kite for this card, but I really don't like my what's it called, frame thing I did. So I'm trying it, but I'm not liking it. So I'm going to change that in a sec after I've put it down for a third time. And yeah, I don't like it. So I'm going to cut another one. This time I don't even bother drawing it first. The hole, put my thread through. And I'm going to glue it down and put the thread down. That's right. Down, and I like that. It adds a little bit to this card. I did leave a picture without any embellishment at all. I will show it to you at the end of this video, because there was nothing that could have improved this picture, so it was perfect the way it was. And I'm going to add more stitching on this card of my son and my husband, because I started by doing quite a lot of stitching on the left side of the layout, and then I thought I need to make it more balanced by adding stitching to the right side. That's why I went back to this card and added some stitching as well. And for this one, oh no, first this card, I'm going to do a bit more stitching, and that's going to finish this card quite nicely. That's when I'm happy with how this card looks, because I felt it needed something between the two flowers. And you can see on the back where I put a strip of paper that wasn't straight, and I just didn't like the width and all of that, so I just left it on the back. But it made it a bit more challenging to pierce and put my needle through. That's okay, we got there in the end. And if you subscribe to my channel, you know that I put a video this week with more thread on paper. Seem to be liking it at the moment, and I can see me doing more of that in my upcoming process videos. I know some people use sewing machines on their cards. I've got a sewing machine, but I use it for quilting, and I don't want to put paper through it because I don't want it to become how can I say, it's a very good sewing machine. I don't want it to misuse it by putting paper. I've got no problem with people using their sewing machine for paper stuff, none at all. It's just that mine is primarily sewing and quilting sewing machine. If I get enough money to, buy another sewing machine, then I will probably buy a cheaper one and use it for paper stuff. And here I'm going to show you my layout, and I really like how it turned out. Maybe I should do proper sentences. So that's a title card for week 4, which is very pretty. I like it. And I'm not quite sure that I've got a lot to add to it. Yeah, all in all, I'm really pleased with this layout. Really pleased. I like this color scheme. This color scheme. It's my favorite color combination. And the right side. And we're just about there. I like the new shoes one. I think it's cool. My boys like shoes just as much as I do, so I'm quite happy with that. And that's the bottom pictures where I didn't do anything because it's a picture of the beach, just outside our house, and it's perfect. So here you go. And I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.